and I'm the founder of FTB Communications, and I have invested in several companies. I have a question for Tanaka Miho-san. I'm also working in the startup, and as you know, we have to work with investors, clients, employees. How do you manage time and expectations while maintaining the growth of the company?
That's a difficult question for me. Let's see. Maintaining the I think the let's say very important thing is how we can build a community or like this like group of members, like as a like entire community in the society, like in the same society, I think. So like so like we shouldn't think of like, especially in startup, like everybody is always struggling. So like not only think about like how we can get, for example, profit or like benefit for ourselves, but also like how to benefit the others, like by pursuing the same goals or the similar goals that will be like in the future benefit a society as a whole. Am I answering questions or?
It is going in the distance, but I think Sharvari is asking, how are you? How do you manage time and expectations? So perhaps you have covered time, but expectation part. Time. Sorry, you have covered expectations, but about the time part, is it how are you dividing your time for personal and the work? Because for startups, I think it is starting from the day to end. It never stops. It's your baby, right? So how do you divide and how do you give time to yourself?
Honestly, I'm like work person up until now. But like honestly, after this like remote work happened, I think I can better manage my time because in corporate I was working more than like now, I think. Because I couldn't like control my time in the like as a like salary man. Like so I think to manage time, I decided to like say no to something that I cannot do or like that if that's too like stressful for me and if I take that job or like the project, then if I cannot focus on the other like clients, then I would like just honestly like tell them like my timeline is like this, so I can do like this work like from this time for yeah. So yeah, by saying that like honest like status about myself, I think I am better managing my time and also for expectation. Like there, I think looking at many legal advisors around me, there are so many advisors who say like you can do it, like without knowing the entire like process or entire status about the clients or investors, or for example, like financial supporters. But like there is something that we cannot always do. Sometimes we have to say no to the clients. Like if they think of too much like expectation, and if we cannot achieve, like nobody's gonna be happy. So some of the clients told me that one thing good about you is like you say no to something that we cannot do so that we can manage expectation in the future and we do not like lose the time in the future. So yeah, that's my strategy kind of.
Thank you so much, Miho-san. I think that was really great suggestions. Lavanya or Rie-san, would you like to share your opinions how we can better manage time and expectations?
I always get this question about how do you balance things, but we are naturally born to balance, frankly speaking. It's an individual preference on how much time do you want to give to your work versus how much time do you want to give to your family. It's not a choice. It's not somebody to tell you, or you can divide it by percentage. And most of the time, it's important to understand that you set your priorities. You have to be very clear about it. Nobody else can help you with that. And two, expectations are set, but you have to be clear about. So when you say expectations, again, the definition is who sets the expectations for you. So if it is being set by your work deliveries, that should be straightforward. In most of the cases, we know what is the delivery that is expected out of us. If we do not know, we cannot do the job. That's the first thing we need to know when we start working on any task, to know what our deliverable is. But if it's a personal expectation, that's you who set it. So if you want, and everybody has their own capabilities, and we need to understand this, the concept of thinking there has to be a work-life balance is such a misconceived notion about people trying to talk about it and saying work-life balance means, do I get my weekend to enjoy, or am I working on the weekend? But that's not how it is. Work-life balance, it's about what is your work environment and what is your work style that dictates your work-life balance. If you're a young mother, you may have to spend more time on your family, but as your kids grow up, you may need to spend less time on that. So it's completely up to you. That question, I would say, don't ask anyone, because anybody talks about that balance, they may be confusing you. I might sound very weird, but that's my experience. Nobody balances anything like we balance ourselves.
Thank you so much, Lavanya, for your honest opinion. And I think that's really right and important for us to realize and to work upon it. But yes, it will need some efforts. Thank you so much. Rie-san, do you have opinion to share for this question before we move to next question?
Yeah, so my opinion is very similar to what Lavinia-san just said. I think me or I, you have to set your own expectation and you have to control your time. I mean, only you can control your time. So, because of, whatever family responsibility or, whatever that you might have, if you decide that you have to stop your work at 6, then that's your rule. And if other people aren't happy with it, too bad. And they do get used to it, by the way. So you have to manage your own expectation and your time, and you have to do everything at your own pace. And I think that's best. Some people would really like to run and be XYZ in 2 years. Maybe for you, you're happy to take 5 years to get there, right? And it's your right. Only you have the power to control your own life. Thank you.